I welcome you all to DSEJ Home Classes, an attempt to connect learner with instructor, a digital initiative by the Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Hello dear students. Today I start with a beautiful quotation by Seamus Heaney. Even if the last move did not succeed, the inner command says, move again. The topic I have chosen to teach you today is a beautiful poem written by Seamus Heaney named as Personal Helicon for Michael Longley. It is a nostalgic poem. Let us have an introduction about the poet of this poem. Seamus Heaney, an Irish poet, playwright, and translator. He is described as the most important Irish poet after W.B. Yeats. He was born on 13th April 1939 in an agricultural farm in North Ireland. Among his best known works is Death of Naturalist, his first major published volume in 1966, and Doors into the Dark in 1969. He had established a deep bond between language and the land. He translated Beowulf in 1999, which is an Old English epic poem for which he was awarded the Whitbread Prize. Heaney was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1995. He died in August 30, 2013 in Dublin, Ireland. Here the poem starts. Look at the first stanza of the poem. As a child, they could not keep me from wells and old pumps with buckets and windlasses. I love the dark drop, the trapped sky, the smells of water weeds, fungus and dank moss. In the beginning of the poem, the poet says when he was a child, he felt strongly attracted towards wells and old pumps with buckets and windlasses. He was unable to resist the charm which they had for him. Besides his love for wells and old pumps with buckets and windlasses, he loved the dark depths of wells, the sky incapable of moving, and the smells of water weeds, fungus, and dank moss. One in a brickyard with a rotted board top. I severed the rich crash when a bucket plummeted down at the end of a rope, so deep you saw no reflection in it. Explanation of this stanza. There was a well in a brickyard. It had a wooden top which had decayed with the passage of time. The poet was delighted to hear the sound of the bucket falling into the well at the end of a rope. The well was so distant and deeply low that whosoever saw into it would not see his or her reflection in the well. A shallow one under a dark stone ditch, fructified like an aquarium. When you dragged out long roots from the soft mulch, a white face hovered over the bottom. And the explanation is the poet remembers another well. It was shallow. It was under a dry stone ditch, which bore life in the form of weeds, etc., like an aquarium bearing fish. The poet clearly recollects how he used to take out long roots from the soft mulch. And mulch is a covering of decaying leaves spread over the soil to keep water in it, and see his face reflected in it. Others had echoes, gave back your own call with a clean new music in it. And one was scarcesome, for there out of ferns and tall foxgloves a rat slapped across my reflection. I explain, there were the other wells, they had echoes. Whenever the poet called into them, his call would be heard back with a clear new music in it. One of the wells was a scary one. The poet was once frightened by a rat slapping across his reflection as it suddenly leaped out of ferns and tall foxgloves. Now to pry into roots, to finger slime, to stare big-eyed narcissus into some spring is beneath all adult dignity. I rhyme to see myself, to set the darkness echoing. In this stanza, the poet says, with the passage of time, the poet has grown into an adult. His outlook has changed. He does not pry into depth of wells, nor does he now fingers slime. He does not like to stare like the legendary big-eyed Narcissus into small well. All these pursuits have remained at things of past. Each of these is now beneath his adult dignity. He writes poems as an adult to see himself and set the darkness echoing. Central idea of the poem. Personal Helicon is a journey from childhood to adulthood. It has been written on a note of nostalgia and it is an autobiographical poem. Perhaps it is the journey of the poet Seamus Heaney. It may be the journey of every person. Seamus Heaney has differentiated the first stage of life from the second one. The process of achieving maturity, change in desire, and life is demonstrated in this poem. Seamus Heaney is famous for presentation of memories of past. As we all know that he belonged to Ireland, therefore his poetry is related to his own people. Critical appreciation of the poem. Helicon is the name of a mountain which is considered as sacred place and the dwelling of 9 muses. Muses are the pattern of fine arts who inspires the artistic spirit of an artist. Here, personal Helicon means personal inspiration. The poet asserts that when he was a child, he was curious and his curiosity could not be restricted by any means. As a child, he looked into the wells, the winches, old pumps, the mystery of drawing buckets from the well. It fascinates him that water was coming out of some mysterious underworld as dark drops suggests mysterious flow of water. Trapped sky means the sky has reflected in the water of the bottom of the well. This fascinated him that the sky had been trapped in a small well. Then there is smell of water weeds, fungus, and the dank moss. These are the images used here. The poet feels the strange sound of bucket that turns at the end of a rope. The well is deep and the water is dark. He feels as if something is coming out of darkness. There is also a sound of empty bucket striking against the stone. Then suddenly the poet has an experience of fear as a rat jumps out. This suggests that inspiration is exciting as well as frightening. Heaney says that he is inspired by his own soul and the darkness echoes. That is, the mystery speaks through his own soul. Literary devices are a form of poetic technique which a poet uses to create rhythm and enhance the meaning of the poem or intensify a mood or feeling. Seamus Heaney has used some poetic techniques like illusion, symbolism, imagery, alliteration, and assonance in the poem Personal Helicon for Michael Longley. Hope you will understand these poetic techniques after reading the poem. Another literary device used in the poem is illusion. It is a reference to another time, work, person, etc., in order to help the reader call a relevant association. One example of illusion that we find in the poem is Narcissus. A handsome young man in Greek mythology who fell in love with his own reflection in a pool as he gazed in fascination, unable to move himself from his image. He gradually pined away near the fountain. Narcissus alludes to the poet's tendency to see his image in the depth of the poetry and wells. Another example is Helicon. Helicon in Greek mythology is the name of a mountain where 9 muses live. Symbolism. Symbolism is the use of symbols to signify ideas and qualities by giving them symbolic meaning that are different from their literal meaning. Symbols used in the poem. Well is the symbol of life, excitement, knowledge, and inspiration. Another symbol used in the poem is darkness in the well, which is symbolic of mysteries of life and death. Imagery. Imagery is representation of sensory experience through language. This experience comes to us through 5 senses of sound, smell, taste, touch, and sense of hearing. The central image of the poem is series of wells which the poet remembered from his childhood. The poet made use of natural imagery such as water weeds, fungus, rats, foxgloves, and mulch. These images conjure a sense of childhood innocence and the poet's fascination with the natural world and physical sensation. Here is another technique, alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of similar initial consonant sounds in a line of poetry. Here is an example from your poem, Dark Drop. Repetition of consonant D and D. Assonance. It is the repetition of similar vowel sounds in a line of poetry. For example, pumps, buckets, fungus, plummeted, ring, spring, drop, moss. These are the examples of alliteration and assonance in the poem. Style of the poem. The poem consists of 5 stanzas of 4 lines with rough rhyme scheme A B A B C D C D E F E F G H G H I J I J. Means the last word of first line rhymes with the third line and the last word of second line rhymes with fourth line. Wells rhyme with smells, windlasses, moss, top, rope, bucket, it, ditch, mulch, aquarium, bottom, call, tall, one, reflection, slime, rhyme, spring, echoing. Here I conclude my topic with these beautiful lines by Seamus Heaney. I can't think of a case where poems change the world, but what they do is they change people's understanding of what's going on in the world. Hope you have understood and enjoyed the poem completely.